Hello, my name is Paul Markham. It's the 23rd of December 2019. It's been a year since I did my last garage or driving video, and it's time to give the Tatra a bit of a run. It hasn't been run for at least a month or so, so I'll give a quick drive and I'll give you an update on what's been happening in the Markham garage. Let's go for a drive. As you can see there's Shelley's Volkswagen Karma Gear 1962. I'll have to do a driving video of that car shortly. I mean, I've been a bit lapse in that one. It's not as unusual as the Tatra or the DKW, but it really is a very pleasurable car to drive. Some friends who really don't like Volkswagens. They think they're terrible vehicles, and I can appreciate that. They are a budget car, but I have driven some old American and Australian cars, and if you put yourself into the seat of someone who was driving a car in the 1950s, even back into the 1930s, Volkswagen really is very it's just easy to drive. It's such a nice, simple car in comparison to things of the time. But there'll be more on that when we get down to actually doing a Volkswagen drive session. Quick update on the Tatra. So the Tatra needed its gearbox pretty much replaced. I had to get 3 gearboxes and have them combined into one. When I first started driving, it was not a very good car to drive. The gearbox was terrible, but it has eased up, and it's now gear changes very easy going these days. The car isn't a difficult vehicle to drive. If you're unaccustomed to it, the gearbox is very heavy, brakes are very heavy, accelerator is very heavy. The engine is plodding. It's not a very high-powered engine. I think it only had like 40 odd horsepower. But that was part of the appeal of the aerodynamic streamlining meant that you could stick a fairly low-powered, low-compression plodder of an engine in the back there, and it just works. It does drive pretty fast. A few little things, niggly things with the car that should be fixed or should be improved, but I can't really be bothered. They're minor inconveniences, and you only notice it if you were to drive it a lot, and I don't really drive it a lot. The main thing that I had done was to have the semaphore indicators restored. They're fantastic. They're Volkswagen semaphores, because they just cannot find the original Czechoslovakian ones, so they work fine. And having them flap out and the little light come on is it makes me smile every time I drive it. I said Volkswagen's going well. Nothing wrong with that car. That car just, you get into it after a couple of months of not driving it and it just starts up straight away and drives. It's a wonderful vehicle for low maintenance vehicle. And it is such a, the Karma gear is a really beautiful design. One more thing I'll just say about the Tatra and the gearbox. I'm driving here in 4th gear, and fourth gear is very it's very flexible. I'll probably listen to the recording later on and probably think, oh, you know, the engine sounded terrible, but in the car it didn't sound bad. You didn't sound like you were going slow in 4th. The DKW, well, the F94, the blue car, that still drives magnificently. It hasn't been driven for a little bit lately either, mainly because I've just been too busy. I've taken it to a few shows, but I haven't had it out like on the weekend, just giving it a run. I took it out last weekend, and you could feel that the spark plugs, here we go, Christmas parties. You could feel that the car needs a good run to de-coke, clean up those spark plugs, and the carb needs a bit of a wash through. So over the Christmas break, I'll definitely take her out on a bit of a long drive, get it up to speed, take it on the freeway. That car just loves driving, like it really does. It's really a motorway car. I know people get really funny about the idea of the 2-stroke motor, and it is a very small 2-stroke motor when you think about it. It's 896 cc's, 3-cylinder, and yet in their day, even the German police were using them as like freeway autobahn pursuit cars because they are such a good driving car. You can really hit the freeway and just keep going and going and going. They certainly give a lot of more powerful vehicles a run for their money, but you wouldn't think it, you know, if you were just counting on CCs. Other DKW project, the Masterclass, that last year's video, which was done on I think 1st of January of this year, it was due to go in and have the rust cut out of the footwell. Well, it finally did get taken away, and it's been with the guy for a while now. As with all of these things, once you start digging in and trying to find good quality metal to work with, you find out that the rust has penetrated into quite a few more areas than we originally thought. And the guy, he's doing very good work, but he's only doing it part-time in amongst other jobs, and so progress has been relatively slow. He sent me photos yesterday showing he's got the floor in now. The challenging area is in the corners where he's got to fit the floor into the footwell, into the firewall. He thought that was actually too turned out to be a lot more complicated piece of metalwork than he'd originally thought. Crunch. Alright, we'll go through the heart of Fremantle and then out. Gotta go put some petrol in the tyres of the Tatra, as it was looking a little bit saggy on the left-hand rear. But yeah, I'm expecting to get the masterclass back in early in the new year. Maybe March. Keen to get the masterclass back in my hands, because I've got a guy in Germany who's been renovating a crankshaft for me. Apparently the 53, 54 car had a slightly different crankshaft to the others, to the pre-war cars, and they're very hard to come by, but he did get one, and sporty pistons as well, which he thinks will make it drive a little bit better than it did in its day. This building up here. See, that's the old synagogue, Fremantle. It's been renovated as a bar now. It's very good. We went there a couple of days ago. Very nice bar. If you're in Fremantle, certainly recommend it. So as I was saying, I've got a new crankshaft and pistons, sports pistons for the 54 car, and when that comes back I'll be able to get the engine out. It's been sitting in oil since I got it, which is probably nearly 2 years now. It's probably 18 months ago that I actually got the car, and I was expecting to be able to you always have ambitions to do these projects to go much quicker than you think. I was really expecting it would take me about 12 months to get the car running again, but not at all. It probably took nearly 18 months. Yeah, it's probably longer than that. It's probably nearly 2 years since I got the car. Then I had to get someone to look at the rust. I had a couple of people offer to do it, but if you're a good panel beater, you have no shortage of work. There's always work. Tons of work. In fact, so they're hard to get to. It's hard to get people to pick up your project. So it was very much a case of a guy that I'd agreed with doing the work, and he was really keen on it. And then it... what's this guy doing? Right away. We agreed on it, and then he was unavailable because of other project work, and he also has another day job, so it was near on 12 months before agreeing to do the work to actually beginning to do the work. I should have done welding. Anyway, that's probably about enough for today. I'm wishing you all, the few of you who watch this video, very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Hello from Perth, Western Australia, and look after yourselves.